The Brothers Home in Busan, South Korea, was initially established with a benevolent purpose: to shelter the homeless and the poor. It promised food, shelter, and a chance at a better life. Many saw it as a beacon of hope, a place where society's most vulnerable could find refuge from the hardships of life on the streets. However, this facade of charity hid a dark and sinister reality. Behind the seemingly ordinary walls of Brothers Home, a horrific transformation took place. The facility, intended as a sanctuary, gradually morphed into a forced detention center. This shift marked a descent into a nightmare for the thousands of individuals unfortunate enough to be confined within its walls. What was once promoted as a haven for the disadvantaged had become a prison of despair. The transformation was subtle at first, a gradual erosion of freedom disguised as administrative necessity. Individuals entering Brothers Home, seeking refuge or swept up in police roundups, soon found themselves stripped of their liberty. Their movements were restricted, their communication with the outside world severed, their very identities erased as they were assigned numbers and forced into a dehumanizing system of control. The promise of a better life quickly evaporated, replaced by a brutal routine of forced labor, meager rations, and constant surveillance. The once hopeful atmosphere within the facility curdled into one of fear and despair as the true nature of Brothers Home became horrifyingly clear. It was a place where hope went to die, replaced by the cold reality of captivity and abuse. The abuses within Brothers Home were systematic and pervasive, a testament to the cruelty that can flourish when unchecked power preys on the vulnerable. Physical violence was commonplace, meted out by guards as punishment for even the slightest infraction. Inmates, including children as young as 10, endured beatings, starvation, and torture. The facility, overcrowded and unsanitary, became a breeding ground for disease. Medical neglect was rampant, with even serious injuries and illnesses often ignored or treated with rudimentary, ineffective methods. The cries of the sick and the dying echoed through the halls, a chilling testament to the inhumanity that permeated every aspect of life within Brothers Home. The psychological toll exacted on the inmates was equally devastating. Stripped of their identities, subjected to relentless abuse, and denied any contact with the outside world, many inmates succumbed to despair. The will to live, slowly eroded by the relentless cruelty of their captors, often gave way to a numbing resignation. Stories of escape attempts, often ending in brutal reprisals, circulated within the facility, serving as both a testament to the human spirit's yearning for freedom and a stark reminder of the high price exacted for defiance. Those who dared to resist faced swift and brutal punishment, their stories serving as a chilling warning to others who might contemplate challenging the authority of their captors. The horrors of Brothers Home unfolded against a backdrop of national ambition as South Korea prepared to host the 1988 Summer Olympics in Seoul. The government, eager to present a modern and prosperous image to the world, sought to erase any blemishes on its carefully crafted facade. The plight of the marginalized, the forgotten souls trapped within the confines of institutions like Brothers Home, was an inconvenient truth, a stain on the narrative of progress and harmony the regime sought to project. Reports of abuse and human rights violations at Brothers Home, though whispered among the local populace, were systematically suppressed. The authorities, more concerned with maintaining the illusion of order and prosperity than addressing the suffering within their borders, turned a blind eye to the atrocities committed in the name of social cleansing. Journalists who dared to investigate the rumors surrounding Brothers Home were silenced, their inquiries met with stonewalling and intimidation. Whistleblowers, risking their own freedom to expose the truth, were discredited or disappeared, their voices effectively silenced by a regime determined to maintain its carefully constructed facade of progress and enlightenment. The Olympics, a symbol of international unity and sporting achievement, became a perverse spectacle, a Potemkin village erected atop a foundation of suffering and injustice. The world, captivated by the spectacle of athletic prowess and national pride, remained largely oblivious to the dark underbelly of South Korean society, where the most vulnerable were sacrificed at the altar of national image. While the popular Netflix series Squid Game is a fictional work, its themes of social oppression and exploitation resonate deeply with the real-life horrors of Brothers Home. The series depicts a group of individuals driven to desperation by economic hardship, who participate in a deadly competition for a chance to escape their crushing debt. Though the director of Squid Game has not specifically cited Brothers Home as inspiration, he has acknowledged that the show's themes are rooted in the economic anxieties and social disparities of South Korean society. The desperation that leads individuals to risk their lives for a chance at wealth, the callous disregard for human life exhibited by those in power, and the pervasive sense of hopelessness that permeates the lives of the marginalized. These are themes that connect the fictional world of Squid Game to the stark reality of Brothers Home. Both the series and the historical event expose the vulnerability of individuals pushed to the margins of society. The desperation born of poverty, unemployment, and social exclusion creates a fertile ground for exploitation, where the promise of a better life, however illusory, can lure individuals into unimaginable situations. The parallels between Squid Game and Brothers Home serve as a stark reminder that the themes explored in the series are not merely fictional constructs, but rather reflections of very real societal issues. They highlight the human cost of economic disparity and the urgent need to address the systemic factors that create and perpetuate such inequalities.